Hello, what's going on, guys? This is Onyema Anthony Chibike from Daily Programmer. In our last video, I showed you guys how to execute your Dart programs or run your Dart programs in an IDE or a text editor. In this case, we used VS Code and Android Studio. So whichever one is comfortable for you, you can use them. They are the same thing. They do the same job. It depends on preference. But for me, I prefer Android Studio. So I will use Android Studio for now. Maybe I will switch to VS Code sometimes, but for now I'll start with Android Studio. So today I'm going to teach you guys how to a concept called variable. Variable, what are variable? So variable are like a placeholder in that. Not only that, in every programming language they use a concept called variable. It helps us to write much cleaner and efficient code. So you remember in math grade when you say that x is equals to 9, and then when you're using x in the equation, instead of assigning x, you replace it with 10. So that is similar things with variable as well. So variable is like a placeholder for something. Like in a computer, you tell a computer to hold something for you. You tell it where do you want me to hold this thing for you. Maybe you want a computer to hold a value for you, like your money for you, like in the bank system. So we have so many variables in the bank system, like let's say the account balance, all these things. They are being held in a memory in the computer. So you tell the computer, okay, what do you want me to hold for you, and where do you want me to keep it? So that is a concept called variable. There are so many ways you can define this, but just understand it as the memory is a container. It's more like a container that they use to keep something in a computer. So let's just go. Let me show you what I mean. Let me show you what I mean in code. So variable in that is similar to other programming languages. You know, like initially I told you guys how to print hello world, right? Hello world. But you can still store this hello world inside a variable. Then you use it later. You know, just here you can just use it directly. But when you're using variable, you keep it somewhere and then you reuse it. So let me give you an example of what I mean. So let me say we have a string. Let me call it name is equals to Anthony. So this is exactly what I mean by variable. So there are different types of variable. We have string, we have int, we have double, we have float, we have so many of them. So before you tell that to hold something for you or to hold a variable for you, you have to tell it what kind of variable do you want me to hold for you, and also the value and also the name of the variable. For now, just understand it like that. So this first word here is the type of variable. Okay, what do you want me to hold for you? What kind of variable are you going to be telling me to hold for you? The next one is the name of the variable, because name in the sense that you can actually access the variable later on. So you have to give it a name. I said, okay, I will be, whenever I want to identify you, I will say, okay, get me this variable. And then the value. The value, before you give it a value, you have what we call the equal sign. This equal sign is called the assignment operator. So this is used to assign something to this variable called name. So in this case now, name Anthony, right? I know this doesn't make sense to you, but don't worry, trust me, later on it will make sense. Let's say another type of variable we have is called the integer. Int. The integer is a whole number. Just see it as a counting number. The number you count, like a natural number, the number you use for counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to infinity. So that is an integer. I call counting number. Let's say age. Let's say my age is 10. Yeah. This is another type of variable. You see, there's a pattern here. This is the name, type of variable, and this is the name, and this is an assignment, and this is the value. And remember, if you look at this place, they are not the same. This one is I put this one inside a quote, and I put this one just like that. So whenever you are having a variable that involves letters, for now, just know that that variable can be stored as a string. And whenever you are storing it, you put it inside a quotation mark. I don't know, let me repeat myself. Whenever you're having a variable that involves characters, names, anything like the alphabet, letter of the alphabet, it is going to be a string, and you can store it, you can assign it with a quotation mark. You can use single or double quotation mark, whichever case you want. So that is it. Then the next one is double. I will call it money. The money in the bank account is equals to, let's say, 10 naira, 10.5 naira. So the difference between double and integer is that double has decimal point. So whenever you're working with something that has decimal point, you use what? A double. I don't know if you understand. Whenever you're working with something that has decimal point, you use what? A double. So let me show you another type again. They call it bool. It's married. Or let me say married is equals to false. So this one, boolean or bool, in that it can only have two values, either true or false. So sometimes in the program you can make some decision and say, okay, is this going to be true or is it going to be false? So in this case, I'm married, I'm not married, so that's why I put false. So these are the few kind of variables that you get used to. Don't worry, as we progress, I will show you so many other different types of variable. Just know that this is the most commonly used ones, but I'll still show you other ones as we go. So if you look at I think like I told you, there is a pattern here. There is the type of variable, there is a name, and there's an assignment, and there's a value. So let me show you how to use them. So if you want to use them, you say print name. Instead of like I told you, this variable, the reason why you have this name is that this is the identifier, kind of what you can use to identify it. So if I want to get the value of this variable and print it, I just say name. Instead of writing the whole thing, I'll just say name, and I will execute it. I have Anthony, right? So let me print another one. I'll say print age. If I still print it, if I still run it, I'll say, you see, 10. If I say print money, let me show you how to execute it. For those people that come here, you say that introduction dot introduction dot, press enter. I see I have 10.5. Let me print another one and say it's married. Okay, married. I'll run it. False. For those of you that didn't know what I did, so whenever you have a command that you've already written in command prompt, you can press the arrow up and down key. It can show you the previous command you've written, so you can execute it. So I think this is how you use a variable in that. So if you have any question, you can ask me in the comment section. I will do my best to reply your messages. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.